Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We'll talk about the NFL wildcard games from yesterday. We're going to recap those. We'll talk about the upcoming divisional round, and we'll talk about the Browns coaching search. We'll talk Cavs, and we'll talk Tribe and other NFL news. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question: Who was the NFL's 2016 Offensive Rookie of the Year? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Well, we had one home team win and three big upsets this week in these past weekend's wildcard games. First, the Houston Texans were down 16-0 at halftime and just came rip-roaring back to beat the Buffalo Bills by 22-19 at NRG Stadium in Houston. And, I really thought Houston was not going to get the win in this, but because they were down 16-0, and the Bills just continued to hold on that lead until the fourth quarter, and Buffalo just let it slip right through their fingers. They had it and they blew it. And that's all I can say about that one, but I got to give the game balls to Deshaun Watson, Carlos Hyde, and DeAndre Hopkins. I got to give them to them. Another one on Saturday night, the Tennessee Titans upset the defending Super Bowl champions, the New England Patriots, at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, 20-13. And boy, I got to give it to Ryan Tannehill. I got to give it to him. And so it goes to him, the game ball this time. And it really was just quite an upset. And then on Sunday, yesterday, the Minnesota Vikings ended the New Orleans Saints season by beating them 26-20 at Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And boy, I really thought the Saints were going to have this game won, but Vikings came out of nowhere and just dominated this game, and they really put the pressure on the Saints. And I got to give the game ball to Kirk Cousins, and there was one other person, I can't remember his name, but there is one more. I think it was Tyreek Allen. I can't remember his name, but I think it's him. I can't remember who it is. But there's two game balls for that one. And the Seattle Seahawks beat the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, 17-9. And I have to give the game ball to Russell Wilson. I got to give it to him. And I got to also give it to Chris Gruber. I got to give it to him as well. So, and Philadelphia played well, but Seattle just pulled ahead and pulled away with this game. So, for the Bills and Patriots and Saints and Eagles, their season comes to an end. And so, moving on to the divisional round for next week, the Vikings will head to San Francisco and take on the 49ers at Levi Stadium. And the spread is about 9.5 point spread. So, I got to tell you, and the 49ers are favored in this one, and I'm going to go with the 49ers because I don't see the Vikings win this one unless they jump on the 49ers early in this game. And I got to go with the 49ers on this one. And kickoff for that one is at 4:35 p.m. on NBC. And then Saturday night, the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens will square off at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, as I just said. And you can't count the Titans out by any means, but Baltimore has been one of the best team in the AFC this year in the NFL. And who has been the most dominant quarterback in the AFC by far? Lamar Jackson. And so I got to go with the Ravens on this one. To win this one, I have to go with them. And so there's no doubt about it. But you can't rule the Tennessee Titans out. Anything can happen. But, as I said, I have to go with the Ravens on this one. The Houston, then on Sunday, divisional round games, the Houston Texans will head to Kansas City, Missouri, and to take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And boy, this is not going to be an easy game for the Texans, but it is a 7.5 spread by a touchdown. But I don't know if the Texans are going to be able to get past unless they can jump on them early, and so I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one. I'm going with the Chiefs to win this one. And then after that, and the kickoff for that one is at 3:05 on CBS, 3:05 p.m. on CBS. And the Seattle Seahawks will head to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And that one is an 8.5 point spread. And you can check me if I'm wrong on that. But, boy, and this was sort of a kind of tough one to predict because this can go either way. But the Packers are tough at home, and Seattle, and both like road teams are 75% in the division round of the playoffs, and the home teams are both at 75%. So, but I think in this case, with this game, I think the home team is going to come away with the victory, and I got to go with the Packers on this one. I really do. I've got to go with the Packers because it's on their turf, and they're tough at home, and I have to go with the home team. I got to go with the Packers. And the kickoff for that is at 6:40 p.m. on Fox. Now, turning over to other NFL news, NFL coaching news, actually, I should put it that way. The Dallas Cowboys have fired Jason Garrett, and they signed Mike McCarthy today. And I think Jason agreed to the terms, and I think he knew he was going to be fired. And so they have signed Mike McCarthy, and I think he's going to do well in Dallas. I would have thought of him as a possibility for the Browns head coaching job, and they did interview him, but I think he was favored. I think he wanted to be in Dallas a lot more. So I wish him nothing but the best. And speaking of the Browns, they will interview Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels this week, and the New York Giants will interview McDaniels tomorrow. So we'll see what happens because he's and there's also a couple other teams that are going to be interviewing McDaniels as well. The Washington Redskins have hired Ron Rivera as their new head coach, and I think that was a good move. And I think he's going to do well there. And I think the Redskins needed a coach with that coaching experience, just like the Browns do as well. And the Browns and Panthers are both expected to interview Vikings offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski, and I think it's going to be on Thursday. So I think he's going to have a double interview on Thursday, Kevin Stefanski. And NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that the Browns have requested to speak with Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz for the head coaching position. Philadelphia defensive coordinator since 2016, Schwartz went 29-51 as the Lions head coach from 2009 to 2013. A member of Bill Belichick's coaching staff in Cleveland in the early 1990s, Schwartz has spent 13 seasons as an NFL defensive coordinator, and we'll see what happens. And I don't think they're going to be. The Haslam's will make a final decision of who the Browns' new head coach will be until the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl has concluded. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see what happens, and I will keep you posted on this developing story with the Browns' coaching position. I will get to the Cavs and the Tribe in just a moment, but first, it is time right now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who was the NFL's 2016 Offensive Rookie of the Year? If you said Dak Prescott, you are correct. Or Dak Prescott, excuse me. In 2016, the Offensive Rookie of the Year award went to Dak Prescott, the quarterback who led the Dallas Cowboys to the NFC East title. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. The Cavs have the day off today, but they will be back in action tomorrow night, as they will take on the Detroit Pistons at Rocket Mortgage Field House. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Ohio. The Cavs are tied with the New York Knicks for the third worst record in the NBA at 10-26. The Cavs have signed. The Hawks have an even worse record. Before I get to the other thing I was talking about, at 8-29, they are in last place. The Cavs have signed former Alabama guard Levi Randolph to a two-way contract, and he will join Colin Sexton in the Cavs lineup this year. The two-way he'll be playing in the Cavs G affiliate league in Canton for the past couple of seasons, and he really averaged I think it was 21 points as a guard with Alabama, and also with the and I think a good amount. I think about 18 to 20 points with the Cavs G affiliate team. And this two-way contract will make it easier when Randolph will make it easier for Randolph to make his NBA debut with the Cavs this season. And I really feel this was a good move on the Cavs' part, because keep in mind, this is a rebuilding year for the Cavs, and John Beilein is really working very hard with this team to really get this team on the winning track, and we hope that they can really improve and move up in the standings. So we'll wait and see what happens. Moving over to the Indians now. For Tribe news, second baseman Cesar Hernandez can earn $250,000 in performance bonuses for plate appearances as part of his $625 million one-year contract with the Cleveland Indians. The 29-year-old would get $50,000 for 525 plate appearances and $100,000 each for 575 and 625 under the deal announced on December 29th. Hernandez had spent his entire professional career in the Philadelphia Phillies organization, but they declined to offer him a 2020 contract in his third year of arbitration eligibility. The switch hitter batted .279 with 14 home runs and 71 RBIs last year. Hernandez has a .277 average with 46 homers in 7 major league seasons. He has played in 161 games each of the past 2 years. Now, Cleveland sought a second baseman after declining a $16.5 million option on Jason Kipnis, who became a free agent when the offseason began back at the end of September of last year. Now, the big question is, that still lingers and is up in the air, what is the Tribe going to do with Frankie Lindor's contract? Because I still feel they need to resign him to a long-term contract. But they took $17 million off the table on budgets, off the budget on the table last year, and I really now, even though I do feel they need to resign him to a long-term contract, I don't think they are, because I don't think they're going to be able to afford him. But we'll have to wait and see, because he's been one of our best players we've had for several years. So we'll wait and see what happens. I will keep you updated on that story as well. I'll be back with a podcast on Wednesday, but next Monday, tune in for a special National Championship pregame show as I will preview the Clemson Tigers and LSU game. But that's just about going to do it for Scott Sports 101. I'll be back with another podcast on Wednesday. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.